Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and welcome to the Sunday, well, it's the big game, isn't it? It's Manchester City against Chelsea. We've had lots of good games today. A little bit late there because I was just watching the end of the Liverpool game. Incredible. I did predict on Premier League predictions that Liverpool would drop points today, and it looked like for a long time they would. But then they get themselves 2-1 ahead in stoppage time, and we get an absolute banger of an equaliser from Fulham. Fantastic. And look, a deserved point for Fulham, I do think. But when Gakpo scores in the 4th minute of stoppage time, Liverpool think they've got a very good 3 points on the road. But Reed with an absolute screamer to make it 2-2. So it's Fulham 2 and it's Liverpool 2. And look, it's incredible, actually. I think I was saying today that, 3 points separate 10th to 5th. And I think it's 4 points to 14th. So the Premier League at the moment is still ridiculously congested. You've got 14th place Crystal Palace on 27. And then you've got 5th place Manchester United on 31. So 4 points separates 14th to 5th into January. So yeah, it's very much up there for the European spots at the moment. Liverpool have drawn their last 2. And they are unbeaten in 6, Liverpool. They're not losing games. I don't think the slot out movement's really that relevant. I just still don't think they're playing particularly good football. But Chelsea have an opportunity today, and even if they lose, they won't really lose any ground, because if Chelsea were to lose today, their goal difference is such that they won't even drop down if they lose 3-0. So Chelsea will hold on to 6th place as the last game of the game week, but obviously they've got to go to Fulham themselves on Wednesday. So look, let's see what's going to happen. I did see Gakpo with his top off, and Slot is gone, in my opinion, says Mancunian Red. Well, there you go. Share the video. Thank you, everybody. Was Verts' goal onside, says Doopy. I'll be honest, I didn't see it. I was off doing other bits. I only saw the last few minutes of it. Brentford's win's fantastic. Let me just run through this. Andrew says, will you talk about Amrim's comments today, Mark, or on the United stand? Well, I can talk about them here if you want, but we've got a show at 8 o'clock, which is basically going to be about that. Clearly, as we reported on the show yesterday morning, there is a fallout between Amrim and Wilcox, and I back Amrim. I mean, I don't back Amrim by a lot, but I certainly don't back the board. Sack the board, I say. When are you playing FC26 next, says Nick? Hopefully tomorrow at 4 o'clock on my channel. Get ready for that. What a screamer from Reed at the death. Amrim's comments were insane. And with Chelsea losing, United top 5, Ineos need to buy a midfielder to secure the Champions League, says Rajaf. Yeah, they should go and buy Conor Gallagher, 100%. But look, let me run through the results today in the Premier League. We've had some very interesting performances and some very interesting results. Leeds Man United 1-1 was probably the right score, but Brentford going to Everton and winning 4-2. Incredible. Everton fans were talking about having a good run of fixtures. They've got Wolves at home on Wednesday. I mean, imagine if they lose that as well. They'd have been thinking 6 points. They're not in the top half of the table anymore. Very good result for Brentford, who go up to 7th. Newcastle, big win for Newcastle against Crystal Palace. They are on the up, Newcastle, now. They are putting themselves back in the frame for Champions League football because everybody else above is dropping points. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, they're all dropping points. And that's allowing those behind to catch up. And Newcastle are certainly doing that. 2-0 win against Crystal Palace, very impressive. Tottenham, very close to getting themselves back in it. But a late equaliser from Sunderland. Fantastic result for Sunderland to get a draw against Tottenham. Sunderland unbeaten in their last 5. So very, very good result for them. They're still doing well despite having all the players out at the AFCON. And then obviously Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. A lot of people saying Frank out. I mean, to be honest with you, I think a draw against Sunderland is taking the piss and being very, condescending towards Sunderland. I mean, they're not a bad side. They're not a bad side, Sunderland. So I think that's a good result for them, but it's not a terrible result for Spurs, if we're being completely honest. But look, Chelsea play Manchester City today. They don't have a manager. They don't have a manager, John. They don't. And they've put themselves in this position, of course. This is how the teams are lining up. And we're going to start off with Chelsea, which is unusual, but we will, because they are the away side. And Jorgensen in goal. I don't know why that is. is Sanchez injured? Must be injured because he's not on the bench. So obviously they've had to change their goalkeeper, which is worrying. Achipong, Chalobah, Badashil and Gusto. No Cucurella, of course. That's why they've got to change their back four. Estevao and Neto will play with Palmer and Pedro as a front four, and then Reece James and Fernandes. At least it's a little bit more attacking, and Garnacho's not starting. That's all I can say. But you'd worry about that Chelsea side without a manager and without Caicedo and Cucurella. So that's how they're lining up. Let's have a look at Man City, who I think could make hay today. And when I say make hay, could batter Chelsea. Let's be real here. They could really give them a beating. This is the Man City side. Donnarumma, Nunes, Diaz, Vardiel, O'Reilly, Silva, Rodri, Reinders, Cherki, Foden, Haaland. I mean, that is a title-winning team, that. I know it's still a work in progress, but that's a bloody good side. It really is. Donnarumma, Nunes, Diaz, Vardiel, O'Reilly. I still think there's susceptibility at the back, but from that point, Silva, Rodri, Reinders, Cherki, Foden, Haaland, it's a very, very good side. And I think they'll have too much for Chelsea. I don't even know who the Chelsea manager is. I presume they've got some sort of stand-in, but I don't know who it is. But at least he's gone with Estevao. Yeah. Remember the name, Gonçalo Garcia, Mark, future Raul, says Callis. Thank you very much. Where's he from? Tell us where he plays, then we will remember it. Good afternoon, Mark. Hopefully we get a good game, says the Recon guy. Good afternoon to you as well. Appreciate those early super chats. Got the under 21 coach in charge today. I mean, I do. The Wirtz goal looks offside to me. How is he on? How the fuck is Wirtz on? I've just seen it there. On a serious note, how can he be on? Has VAR been rattled here? Let's have a look at this. I've got to look at this. Yeah, it's the camera angle is very hard to tell there. I'd trust the tech. But then again, I'm looking at the line of the grass. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. It's an interesting one. I'm looking at the grass. And I mean, look, we'll have to get better understanding of that. But if you've not seen the Wirtz goal, it looks off. Even Carragher's just said it was off. Well, I'll put that to you. That's a very worrying thing. I've just tweeted it there. If you've not seen the Wirtz goal, that's a very worrying thing. Because if that is offside and it's been given, that means we can't trust the tech. And if we can't trust the tech, then what's the point? They need to get some clarity on that pretty quick, because how can the technology be wrong? He has to be onside. I would say it's onside, but like it looks offside. Yeah, I did see the last minute goal from Fulham anyway. But look, yeah, I think for Chelsea, I think the thing that I would say about this game, and I've spoke to a few Chelsea fans this week, is that this is the Premier League. This is the middle of the season. They are on a bad run and they can't afford to drop many more points. In their last 6 Premier League games, they've only won 1 game. So Man City today, Fulham away on Wednesday, they can't keep dropping points because they will get sucked into something. They're actually only 3 points off 14th. Crystal Palace are 14th with 27. Chelsea are 6th with 30. So why are they not in a position to do something quicker around the manager? And are they able to get something done for the Fulham game? Because they could just be hemorrhaging points here, which they cannot afford to do. So it's very interesting. And it'd be very interesting to see if these players can react against a very good Manchester City side who are just about to enter the pitch. Man City also playing with 12 men. Michael Oliver is the ref. Oh, God. He should not be allowed to referee these games. And he is. He should not be allowed to referee these games. He really shouldn't. I'm going to get in early. I'm going to tweet it as a bookmark. Jamie Carragher was even say it's offside on Sky, says Peter. That's what I mean. That's the only reason I've said what I've said, because if Jamie Carragher, a Liverpool legend, is saying that the goal's offside, then has the technology for VAR just been exposed in 4K, you know? That's what the worry is. Thank you very much for your super chat, Peter. So it's a relevant comment. You know, Liverpool fans are going, it's onside, it's onside. It is onside, it's been given, but it's not really about Liverpool, is it? It's about, I don't think we've got the offside automation that they have in the Bundesliga. It's really quick and it's always right. I think we've got semi-automated because when you go to the VAR room on an offside, they're there again measuring stuff. And I'm like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Man City also playing with 12 men. Michael Oliver says, Ahmed. Did you see Amrim's comments, Mark? What's your take? He's finally putting pressure on the scouting team. Look, basically, Ruben Amorim at the end of the game, he says, I want to be the manager, not the coach. The scouting department need to do their job. The director of football needs to do their job. And in 18 months, we'll part ways. So I think he's basically saying, back me or sack me. It's very big. It's very reminiscent of Chelsea and Maresca a couple of weeks ago when he said it's the worst 48 hours. I think we've got a manager now that is saying what the fans want to be said, whether we like him or not. Somebody said it can't be offside because it flicks off a Fulham player. Well, it can, because it's when the pass is played by the Liverpool player. The pass is intent for Wirtz. So when the pass is played, it's going towards the Liverpool player at that point, and that's the line I'm looking at. If it hits a Fulham player on the way through, I don't care. The intent of the pass is to play Wirtz in, and that's when he's offside. So it doesn't matter about a deflection. I said on United Stand last night, Mark, Nigel Flynn says, I said it on the United Stand last night, Mark. Felt like Amorim was going to do a Rangnick, and God, has he completely gone in on the board. Fair play to him, says Nigel. Thank you very much. And Rub says, Reece James is manager, player, captain today. Yeah, and also just coming in as a super chat from Mitch. He says, did you see... no, not from Mitch. Ritty says, have you seen the Wirtz goal, Mark? I still think it's off. It's a horror show from VAR. It is. It really is. And I'm just trying to see whether the press have picked up on it. We've got a Premier League explanation coming in. VAR checked the referee's call of no goal and established that Wirtz was in an onside position and recommended that the goal was awarded. Lots of people saying it was offside. They've got an image of him being onside. No, there's no explanation for it. They're just saying they think it was on. There we go. VAR needs to be looked at now, says G-Box. Well, look, we can park that for other future shows. DBX says both Liverpool and Man United are both toothless up front currently. I don't know what it is about Liverpool. I saw a brilliant comment from a Liverpool fan on social media, and they were basically saying that it's amazing how many chances Liverpool are giving up, and it's amazing how few chances they create with so much possession. And I think this is the problem, isn't it? It's just the pragmatism of Liverpool this season in comparison to Man City, who are creating a lot of chances and moving the ball quicker. P. Jamal said they're happy with their day's work, says Kenneth. There we go. Ben Jacobs update, Mark, says Doyle. Mate, Ben Jacobs update was about an hour ago. It's not new. Rub says that statement is flawed. Who said Carragher is a Liverpool legend? He's an average defender at best. Bro won nothing in his life. Well, I don't know. I'm not a bloody Liverpool fan, am I? I don't know whether he's a legend or a great. I suppose actually he's probably a bit like there are many Man United players that are not legends that are greats. Like some people want to call Marcus Rashford a legend. Whatever. But, you know, maybe he is a little bit like that, what Liverpool is. Because Liverpool have had some proper legends, haven't you? You know, Kenny Dalglish, Steven Gerrard, Mo Salah. You know, maybe Carragher's not quite in that, but maybe he's a Liverpool great. I don't know. Will there be an 8 p.m. show? Yes, Matthew. Yes, lots to discuss. Lots to discuss around Manchester United. There's a lot of... I mean, in fairness to Manchester City, they're paying tribute to a lot of people here. Ricky Hatton, Tony Buck. They seem to be doing that for about 4 minutes. So I don't know whether there was anybody else as well. Apologies if we didn't pick up on that. But a little bit of delay to the start here because they were doing paying their respects. But we are about to start now. Sorry, I had to just move that there because it was very close. If I'd have clicked my thing, it might have stopped the stream. Right, okay, ready to go. Here we are. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do share the video. We've got nearly 10,000 watching already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Max says, hot take, Chelsea will get a draw or win. You know what, Max? I'm just going to say this before the game. I've played the game, and I was going to go in Premier League predictions with me and Robbie. I was going to go with a Chelsea draw. But then Maresca left and I was like, I can't now. I really did think Chelsea would get something out of it, even without Caicedo. But now that now Maresca's gone, I think it makes it difficult. But they have got, what have I done here? They have got a very, very talented team still. You know, it's not like they should get battered. I just think it's going to be, you know, it's hard when you haven't got a manager. And it's doubly hard when you're playing against a team like Man City. And as Guess Who says, the problem is our defence is shocking. Yari says, that Amrim interview means tonight's 8 p.m. show with Mark will be fire. It definitely does. It definitely does. Make sure you tune into the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight. Looking forward to it. Carl of Stewie says, when are you in Leamington next? I've got an idea for a video. Tell me the idea. I've got no plans to go to Leamington anytime soon. But Chelsea normally do quite well against Man City without knowing anything about the previous. Yes, the Christmas tree is down. It isn't actually the 12th day of Christmas, and we still do have Christmas trees up in the house. But I've got a video coming out this week on the channel that is very exciting. But I couldn't film it with a Christmas tree because the Christmas tree would be down by then. So I've took it down to do that video, and I thought I'm not putting it up again when it comes down tomorrow. So the tree is down, but we still have got a couple more up in the house. I just start to gradually take stuff down because tomorrow it's back. Tomorrow is the last day anyway, and obviously it's back in the working week tomorrow, so you have less time. So I've just started to take some of it down. Donnarumma and Haaland is a crazy spine for a team, says Totally Alfie. And Rodri. And Foden. Gaz H says, did the Toblerone fit? Ian says, have you recovered from the United massacre? You do realise we drew 1-1, mate. That's not a massacre. Well in by Enzo Fernandez there. He's won the ball high up the pitch and he's won a corner as well. It'll be Bernardo Silva's bast. I nearly called him a bast. I nearly called him something. That tells you what I think of Bernardo Silva. It'll be Bernardo Silva's last season, won't it? I think he's going to go in the summer. Are you more Amrim in now than in the middle, says Doyle Terrace. I'm not Amrim in. I would give Amrim the season and I would back him in January, and I've always said that. But I'm definitely on his side rather than the board, if that makes sense. There was a lot of people talk about Toblerones and Mars bars. Right, on the United stand. Oh, off the line! Chelsea! Bang! Oh, what's it? Michael Oliver, what? Oh, somebody touched Donnarumma. You can't do that. You can't touch a Man City player on a corner. No, 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 no. We're not having any of this. I don't even know what the foul is there. Michael Oliver's the referee, so he could be the 12th man for City today. Somebody on the United stand, Watchalong, said, if you had to put a chocolate bar up your arse, what one would you do? It was a super chat, so I read it and went, that's disgusting, and moved on. But for the next half an hour, there was a big debate going on in the chat. Now, that might have been because people were really excited by it or because the Man United game was quite boring. But there was quite a big conversation going on about it, which, you know, there we go. Well, Chelsea have started off quite well here. Okay. I hope you and your family are doing well, says Vipul, and you. As a City fan, I think part of Man United's issue is replacing mediocrity with mediocrity stubborn owners. Well, you say what you like about Man City, but they do go out and get best in class, don't they? Erling Haaland, Donnarumma have already been mentioned. They're best in class, and they've been looking to do that from day one. That's a lovely ball into Reinders. Bernardo Silva down the right-hand side, and I think they've given offside. Felipe Luis to coach Chelsea. Interesting, says Max. Is that official? Toblerone up the rear of Lily Phillips Q, says L. See, this is what I mean. People react to this thing really strangely. If he was sacked, who would be your United temporary manager, says KD24? Wow, I wouldn't go temporary anyway. Robin says, I reckon Michael Oliver likes a treble XL Toblerone. So apologies. It gets people very excited, this conversation. Mr. Al-Shamari says, what do you think about Brentford, Mark? They're unbeaten in the last 5 Premier League games. I think Keith Andrews is an early contender for Manager of the Year. I mean, I genuinely had them getting relegated. And I'm not going to lie about that. I did. And I think it's incredible what they've done. And he deserves a massive amount of credit, certainly. I genuinely thought Thomas Frank, Wizza, Mbeumo, Norgard all leaving, they're going to struggle to stay up. And I think they're actually doing better this season than they did last season. Which is very, very impressive. But I think Man City have been very impressive this year. Chelsea can be good. I thought they were brilliant against Arsenal a few weeks ago. And they have got Cole Palmer back now. Please do share the video if you're watching, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We have got... well, Liverpool fans, what are you thinking about your draw as well? 2-2 to Fulham. I predicted a draw in that game, so I'm not surprised by it, but Liverpool fans might be. You're just not the team you were, are you? You're not the team you were. Can you do a cheese review video, please, says Gola. I haven't had a lot of cheese over Christmas. I haven't really had a lot. I probably won't buy much next year. That's a nice ball into Esteval. Oh, he needed to get rid of that quicker. Cole Palmer's going to do all that running and be offside. Yeah. I'm not doing a poll on Toblerone or Twix because I know exactly what you're thinking about doing with it. And I think, you know, we've had enough of this filth. I like this comment. Frank G says, I think overall the level of the Premier League has dropped dramatically this year. There are some exceptions, of course, Villa and Sunderland. Mate, honestly, Manchester United have taken 13 points from their last 27 and we're still 3 points off fourth. I mean, that's it for me. You know, that's the clear, obvious assessment that the league ain't anywhere near what it can be. Because that shouldn't be happening. Like, 13 points from 27 is not very good. And we're still 3 points off fourth. So, you know. What genre are you in when grabbing it with two hands, says Peter. Yeah, we're not doing any of that, thanks. Thoughts on West Ham, Mark? I think they'll go down, says Evan. Well, apparently they're going to keep Nunez. But I do agree with you. I think it's not looking good for them. They've got to beat Forest on Tuesday night, haven't they? How many Toblerones do you think you could fit? I'm not answering any of this filth anymore, LA99. You're getting too excited about it. What's your opinion on Orville the Duck, says Tom. I preferred Cuddles. He was funny. Orville was just a little green prat. All the teams have stepped up their game, that's all. Nah, mate, I think we've seen very few good games in the Premier League this season as well. So I don't think it's even the fact that there's loads of good teams. How many teams are chucking the long... Mate, I think that this Premier League season has, bar 2 or 3 teams, one of which are Man City, I think the quality in the Premier League this year is crap. And I think too many teams... You know what? Do you want my hot take? Well, you're going to get it. My hot take is this. I think the Premier League is so compacted and so low quality this season because so many teams are just doing really basic ball. Like, they're all focused on set pieces. They're all chucking long throw-ins in. So basically, there's no differential. There's not many teams actually playing good football. There's not many teams actually, you know, going into games with a style of play. Everyone's doing the same thing. So it's a great leveler, isn't it? If everyone's playing for set pieces and long throw-ins, and everyone's booting it long from the kickoff, everyone's doing very basic percentage football. So there's only 1 or 2 teams that are actually playing decent football, like Man City, Arsenal, Villa at times. But, you know, it's so compacted because everybody's doing the same thing. Percentage ball. I watched Man United Leeds. Basically the same teams. Both teams basically had the same formation. It was, you know... And I think so many teams are on the same level playing field this year, playing the same standard of football. It's like watching Stoke from 12 years ago or Wimbledon from 20 years ago. This, you know, percentage ball, it's shit. Corner to City. I don't even think that was a free kick, by the way, but we'll get a few of those with Mikel Oliver. Amrim calling club out in the press conference is good news, says Wesley. Yeah, looking forward to the 8 o'clock show. Robury, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. I have seen Harrison Reed's goal, Kai. I was watching it on here before I pressed live. Oh, be careful here. Anybody touches a Man City player on a corner and he's going to give a penalty. Headed away. You've got to be very careful if you're a Chelsea fan in that penalty box. I don't think you can give a handball for that. Barely, you know, he didn't know anything about it. Robbo96 has agreed the Toblerone talk is disgusting, so let's change the subject to how many Mars bars. I think it's worrying how excited so many of you have got about chocolates up your arse, and it just shows that, you know, there's probably going to be a spike in chocolate bar sales tonight in the UK and around the world. You know, HQ Mars Confectionery tomorrow morning and are going to go, we expected a quiet January after Christmas, but there's been a real spike at about, you know, 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. What was going on? Well, I was actually watching That's Football, and there was people in the live chat talking about what chocolate bar they'd like to shove up their arse, so I think that was it. Good. Let's get more of that conversation. Let's start a little trend. The real Ghost Chase says, I always wondered why you don't have an accent. You are so much easier to understand than other British English content I watch. Nobody's ever said that to me before, so I don't even have an answer for it. It's a lovely cross. But Chelsea will deal with it. I've said it before. The trouble with a cream egg is that if it breaks, what comes out is going to make it look it's going to make it look like you've not had chocolate there. Because cream egg is full of white stuff. So if it breaks, that's coming out, and then you've got a whole new world of problems. I've said it since forever, and I feel like I'm sinning in the dark, or maybe sitting in the dark. The only reason why the Premier League is considered competitive is because all the teams are shit and average, says Default 66. I think this season, yeah. I think this season. We need more PSG style of football, says Luke. But you know what, though? I'm not wrong. The Premier League this season, everybody's doing long throw-ins. Everybody's kicking it long from the kickoff. Everybody's, you know, fouling the goalkeeper on corners. Like, why did this trend start, and why are we okay with it? Because it's lazy. It's lazy, right? It's basic coaching. It's a lot harder to get your players to understand patterns of play, moving the ball quickly, one-touch football, moving off the ball. That's proper coaching. Spending your time in the week practicing corners and booting it long and throwing long throw-ins is basic. You know, that's the sort of stuff that has traditionally been left to the lower leagues, and now Premier League clubs are doing it. So, you know, it's not proper coaching, in my opinion. It's basic. And that's why everybody's so congested, because everybody's doing the same thing. It's ChatGPT coaching, yeah. What's the easiest way for me to win games and stay up in the Premier League? Well, percentage football. Basically, don't keep hold of the ball and just play when you've got the ball. Percentage ball. Boot it long, get up the pitch, look to make the opposition make mistakes. There's not many teams in the Premier League I'm proud of, let's put it that way. I like Man City this season. I think they're playing good football. But free kick on Foden. Sully says, if you were a manager, Mark, how many times do you think you'd get sent off or booked for arguing with the officials? I know I'd be fuming most matches. I think a lot, Sully. Yeah. Jason says, what are your thoughts on Mark Goldbridge? It's a very strange question. You had a problem when everyone's copying Pep's ball. Now here you go, says Free Kick. And I found Pep football really boring, and I find this worse. So I didn't say I don't like Pep ball, I like everything else. I can still dislike long direct ball as well. I don't dislike the way PSG play. I didn't dislike the way Klopp played. I didn't dislike the way Bielsa played. You can dislike two things, you know. It's like waking up with an ugly person and going, oh, that's disgusting. Then doing it next week and going, oh, they're ugly, but it doesn't matter. I can't say it twice. I've got a mate who's made a career out of that. Every week. And I definitely do not subscribe to this. Yeah, whatever. Why are Chelsea getting manager that's 7th in League One, says Evan Whelan? Because they want a learner driver. That's their whole motto. I could go through every Premier League team on that list and tell you what their problem is, but Chelsea's is the easiest problem of all. Your owners haven't got a bloody clue how to build a title-winning team because they're obsessed with people under 24. Leonardo DiCaprio FC. You need an experienced striker and an experienced centre-back and you'll win the league. But your policy is to buy everybody under 24. It's weird. You're never going to be experienced if you don't buy experience. Lauren wants to give a curly whirly a try. Vegetables are better than chocolate, says Moomin. Yeah, I'm not doing... I can't believe how filthy the chat is. Golly, I can't even read that. He's talking about teabagging. Neto's got a bit of space here down the left-hand side. It's not a bad cross. Oh, what a block. What a block from Esteban. Shots. It was a lovely cross by Neto, and Esteban ended up on it, but it was a big block. I'd like to see that again. I don't know whether it was Bernardo Silva or Vardiel with the block. Pep must be feeling festive with that formation. Yeah, it is a Christmas tree formation on our screen, isn't it? Lovely ball here on the break. Cherky into Foden. Lovely play, Foden. Oh, he wants a corner. He's not going to get it. That was a lovely breakaway. Lovely breakaway from Man City, this. That's not Cherky, is it? Is that Cherky with the pass? I think it was Cherky with the pass. Just wide. My timer's not miles off. 1954, 1954. You know, I think you failed the stupidity test if you look at my timer and it doesn't match up with you. Can I explain it, right? My timer matches my screen I'm watching the game on. It's never going to match yours. That's the whole point. I put it on the screen so you know where I am and when I'm watching it. Why are Chelsea getting money? I've done that one. Appreciate that. It's because they're Americans who only care about making as much money as possible, says Cameron. Well, 20 minutes has flown by, so that means it's a good game. Because, I tell you what, the Bournemouth-Arsenal game yesterday was a good game, but it was a very long first half. Dark horse to win the Champions League and the World Cup, says Langford. Note to Langford, you can't win the Champions League and the World Cup, but I think you mean separately. Dark horse for the Champions League. There won't be a dark horse for the Champions League. It'll be Arsenal, City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. One of those. There can be a dark horse for the World Cup. Portugal. But then again, they have got Spanish Southgate in charge. So I don't know what it is about Portugal. They've had a brilliant squad for 10 years and they appoint really crap negative coaches. Rajaf says it's really funny that United follow Chelsea's model. Chelsea's model fails before us and now the same is happening to United. Why can't Ineos look at Arsenal? Because Sir Jim Radcliffe's obsessed with Chelsea. He had a box there, didn't he? Thoughts on boycotting the Trump Cup this summer, says the Flea. Is that the World Cup? Well, I'm going to watch the World Cup, so... Ooh, nearly a good cutback by O'Reilly into Haaland. City still got it here on the edge of the box. But Chelsea will clear that. There we go. Nice to see Esteban starting a game as well. I think Garnacho is just so average. Norway won't win the World Cup, Nude. I know a lot of people are excited about Norway, but they won't win it. Thoughts are done that one from the flea. Oh, might be getting some more snow tonight. Bernardo Silva again. He's a dirty player, Bernardo Silva, but he never gets booked. Well, Chelsea done all right here in the first 25 minutes. I did feel that City might steamroll them, but it's not... it's not been the case so far. Thanks for the watch along, Mark, says yo. No, thank you very much for tuning in. Dynamite Fork says I'm stoned. Thanks for the consistent entertainment. Okay. Jason, I'm not reading that. Golu says Skittles or M&M's. M&M's. And Bradley Gunner says the problem this season is that... Hold on. Badashil heads it away. Haaland was on the back post. See where this attack goes for City. Be interesting to see what Rodri does back in a Man City shirt, and whether Max says the difference Rodri makes is whether Rodri can get back properly. I mean, that was a bad injury, wasn't it? Anyway, Bradley Gunner says the problem... Thanks for your super chat, Bradley. He says the problem this season is that it's become robotic managers taking over teams, not letting players have any freedom. It's the manager's way or no way. Yeah, I think it's a fair point. I think there's a lot of teams are doing the same thing, and that's benefiting the Crystal Palaces and the Brentfords, because when everyone's doing what you do, you've got a chance. What's your opinion on the film's Eyes Wide Shut? I don't know whether I've ever watched it in its entirety, to be honest. Are you going to come to America for the World Cup, says Evan? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Lauren says, if teams were allowed a wild animal in their squad, which would be best? And which team's tactical setup squad fits which animal? Yeah, we're not doing that, Lauren. Bloody hell. Trying to compete with the mainstream here. We've got Bundesliga TV rights, and you're talking about sticking animals in a team and how it would work tactically. I mean, God. Be a bloody bloodbath for a start. Angry Ninja, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to block you. Goodbye. You can't lose to Ireland and be a World Cup dark horse, says Kenneth. And we need you to back Amrim after what he said, says Hamza. But I am. Already am. Wow, got nearly 14,000 watching. Please do share the video. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Remember, there's a lot of football coming up over the next few weeks because there's Champions League, there's Carabao Cup semi-finals, there's the FA Cup next weekend, where I'm got to be honest, I'm not doing anything apart from the United game. FA Cup third round for me is weekend off. I don't have any interest in the FA Cup apart from Man United's game. I'm not interested in watching. Oh, lovely ball here. Foden on the back post. Haaland heads it wide. He got up well, but City are probing here, but Chelsea's defence has been all right. I think he's given a corner here, hasn't it? Reinders with the cross. Haaland rises. looked like a corner to me. I think he has given it. Yeah. Spider wants opinions on Stranger Things. Mixed reviews, really. I'm not going to do that here, though, because not everyone will have watched it yet. I'll tell you what I did watch last night. One Battle After Another with DiCaprio. It's you know, as modern films go, I mean, it's not Heat. You know, it's definitely not Heat, but it was all right. It was all right. I thought it was quite good. Sean Penn was very funny. Thoughts on Wenger's new offside proposal, playing being offside only if he's completely past the last defender? Well, I think it's already been brought in if you've seen the Wirtz goal. Chiri. A lot of talk that Wirtz's goal was onside today and VAR gave it, so it felt a little bit like it had come in. Please read my Miss Super Chat. Want your thoughts, says Civi. If it's anything to do with chocolates and arses, I won't read it, no. What does Ruben mean by his post-match comments? We're talking about it at 8 o'clock on the United Stand, Chris. Man United is already owned by a bunch of baboons. Some humans would be nice, says Quinton. Hayent says, saying the Premier League is poor this season when English teams are performing well across European competitions is disingenuous. Well, it doesn't. It just means the quality of football's crap. It doesn't mean it can't be effective. It's just, you know, I watched Liverpool play against Frankfurt. And how many goals did they score from corners? Ooh, I tell you what, Reece James did catch Rodri there. He might get a yellow card for it. Did he get a yellow card? No. Ineos throw Amir under the bus like Ashworth, says Josh. There is a theme there, yeah. Amir Khan says that your backside has got taste buds. Oh, don't feed it chocolate. Liam says, Liam Devon Red, hope you're doing well, mate. He says, these prats think that this regime at United we should trust need to write the pros and cons of it, then maybe they will realise it's crap. I've got a few notes for the game later. Just need to get them down. In response to Lauren, I think a bear at Dyches Forest would work well and a porcupine at Arsenal as Arteta's an annoying prick, says Luke Jones. With owners ruining clubs like United and Chelsea and owners of nothing clubs like City making them successful, do you feel like the game is truly gone, says CV? Half a chance there for Foden, but he's not very good in the air and he heads it wide and it was offside anyway. I think the fact that Man City's owners and Brentford's owners and Brighton's owners do well and Chelsea's owners and Man United's owners don't do well, I don't think that's about football being gone. I think it's about having a good owner, isn't it? I mean, you might have a cafe in Salcombe in Devon, which is a very nice area, and they run it really badly and the food's crap. You might have a cafe in Stoke, which is a less desirable area, but it's run really well and has brilliant food. So, you know, you can't just be snobby about, oh, we're a nicer place than Stoke. The reality is, Man United and Chelsea may well be big clubs, but they've got bad owners. Brentford and Brighton might not be big clubs, but they've got good owners. You're only as good as your owners. And that's why I think fans need to be, you know, my message to Chelsea would be, if you're not happy with your owners, don't do what we've done. Which is nothing, basically. You know, the things that have been effective at United was getting the game cancelled against Liverpool. That made them shit themselves. They don't like the protests. And they don't like the negative media because it hurts them. And one of the biggest things that really caused them problems was when TeamViewer didn't want to sponsor us anymore. So, you know, if you want to hurt your owners, you've got to get games called off, or you've got to, you know, hit them in the pocket, because that's what they're in it for. They're in it for the pocket. They're in it for the money. So that's where you hit them. But we failed at United for years. But if Chelsea want to change their ownership, I don't know whether they do, then that's how you do it. But the thing about Chelsea's ownership is, if I'm being fair, is I think it's on a different level to Man United. I know they're making stupid mistakes, but they have spent a lot of money. Like, they do try. I mean, look, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Cole Palmer, they bought you some good players. I just think their big problem is they're obsessed with youth. I mean, if you didn't spend some of the money you've spent on people like Badiashile and everything like that, if you'd spent that on an experienced centre-back, you'd be in a better position. They just don't want to buy players that are... Golu, I'm sorry, you're in a timeout. 24 hours, see you later. Favourite piano concerto? Mine's... Yeah, I don't know about that, Lauren. Chelsea find an extra gear against teams that are better than them. Barcelona, Arsenal and today. I expected City to be 1 or 2 up inside 20 minutes, but Chelsea have held their own so far, says RB. Ray says, what's your favourite video you've ever made? Honestly, my favourite videos are the driving with Goldbridges or the cooking with Goldbridges, because there's no football as a script. So I have to do it myself. So I like those. Rodri's cooking, says Buzz. My channel, basically, the Mark Goldbridge channel, has got most of the stuff I like doing the most. I mean, I love the football stuff, but... Seb. T. I do think Man City will win this game, though. Are you managing the Sidemen charity match, Mark? I doubt it. I wasn't last year, was I? So, good luck with it, though. I did mean that, by the way. It was a bit flippant, but good luck with it. Why don't you do any more stadium tour videos? I don't know. Liverpool-Arsenal on Thursday. I think it's going to be a very interesting game because I think Arsenal will win that. That's why I think Liverpool needed to win today, because that Arsenal game, Arsenal are better than them. I mean, look, Man City are better than Chelsea, and Chelsea have done all right so far, so anything can happen in football. Of course it can. Ooh, good play by Bernardo Silva, but it's over the bar. I don't think Arsenal will bash them, and Liverpool might get a draw, but there's a very big difference between Liverpool and Arsenal this season that I didn't expect. If Chelsea get a result, do Arsenal run away with it, says Bradley. I think Arsenal at the moment, 4 points is a big gap. Having that, knowing that they've got to go to the Etihad at some point, keeping a gap that's more than one result is really crucial. And it psychologically helps a lot. This could be a goal. Oh, no. Goes back to the keeper. Yeah, in relation to the FA Cup, I mean, there's just no games next weekend that make me think, let's go live. Like, we are live on Friday night. We've got the Bundesliga back. But there's not really any games that sort of catch my eye in the Cup. I mean, Man City have got Exeter. Charlton, Chelsea at 8 o'clock. Tottenham Villa is quite a good one, actually. But the problem with that Tottenham Villa game is, if that was a Premier League game, I'd watch it. It's 5:45 next week, Tottenham against Villa. However, in the Cup, you know, quite rightly, after such a... Hold on, Haaland! Deflected, good save by the keeper. First proper save he's had to make. I mean, there wasn't a lot on it. It was one of those more that the deflection might cause him problems. Let's look at this. Haaland, edge of the box, deflects, Keeper does well, actually, because that deflection loops up. Wasn't a good shot by Haaland, but the deflection nearly took it in. Good save by the keeper. But yeah, that Tottenham Villa game next week in the Cup, that on paper is going to be a good game. But in reality, it's going to be a load of shit because Tottenham and Villa have both got a lot of games in January and they've both had a lot of games over Christmas and they've both not got big squads. And the Champions League and the Premier League is going to be way more important to them than the FA Cup. So you'll end up with two really shit 11s playing each other. So I won't be doing that one. No, thank you. I won't. Sunday, Man United Brighton, I'll do that because we need to take the FA Cup seriously and Brighton aren't in Europe as well. So that could be a good game. I think the FA Cup now has basically become, if you're not in Europe, if you're in Europe, you don't really give a shit about it. Which is why I think Palace won it last year. Yeah, I'd agree. I think Everton... Oh, what a goal! Oh, he's in the post! How? I'm not celebrating. I'm saying what a goal before it goes in from Haaland there. Oh, what a wand of a left foot. He's cut inside. He's curled it. Perfect trajectory. It looks like it's going in. It's at the inside of the post. I just thought this was in. Oh, inside of the post and out. I mean, that's an inch. If that's an inch the other way, it's in off the post. It's hit the inside of the post and come out. He deserved that. What a finish. That would have been a great goal. I'm not a City fan. I just think, you know, City do play good football this year. I'm definitely not a Liverpool fan, and under Klopp, I thought they played good football. And I want to be fair, you know, I found Man City and Pep boring for years. I actually find them quite good to watch this year, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. In a season that, and also I'm so fed up of teams that are obsessed with corners and throw-ins. Man City actually play football, so if we don't applaud the teams that play good football, then we're going to end up with shit football, aren't we? What kind of motor do you drive, says Seamus. I drive an Audi now. I got an Audi a few months ago. Fancy a Misfits boxing match, says Gary Neville. Imagine if I don't think Gary, the real one, would want to do that. Fancy a pint? I really believe analytics have hurt the Premier League, says Justin. Yeah, there's too many geeks in football now. There's too many data Dans in football now. I've analysed the game, and if we hit the ball into, if we just boot the ball into certain areas, we're higher up the pitch, and therefore we've got to limit shots from outside the box, because statistically speaking, only 5% of shots from outside the box go in, so we don't need that. Palmer. Cole Palmer doesn't look at the races at all. Great tackle, that. Cole Palmer doesn't look at it, does he? I know he's had a long injury, but his touch has been off. Bradley says, is Chelsea going to get done that one, haven't we? I feel a Man City goal is coming. And there it is. Reinders. 1-0. Literally got the perfection there. You just felt it was coming. You felt it was coming, and there it was. I don't think there'll be a way back for Chelsea now. I really don't. They've not really done anything on the attack, and that's been coming. That Haaland chance that hit the inside of the post, basically, I thought it was a goal. Just in the last 5-10 minutes, they've really took control, and I mean, this all comes from Cole Palmer losing the ball on the edge of his own box when Chelsea were in a good position. He doesn't look right, does he, Cole Palmer, at the moment? But defender's got to do a lot better there. Is that Badiashile? Fucking hell. I mean, this is crap defending. Really shouldn't be letting him... I hadn't noticed that on the first watch. I mean, that Chelsea fan at the start who said your defence is crap, I mean, that is crap. Keeper shouldn't get beat on his front post. Centre-back shouldn't be letting him get the shot off either. He shouldn't be getting a shot off there. It's a good finish by Reinders, but that's crap defending, I'm afraid. You'd be screwed. If that was a Man United defender, I'd be saying, mate, what are you doing there? Good play by João Pedro. Do we write Chelsea off? They're just not winning many 50-50s at the moment. Will there be a viral reaction if United go out round 1 of the FA Cup like they did in the League Cup with no Europe, especially when it's another way to Europe, says Dan A. Gusto's probably lucky not to get a yellow card there. It was a little bit late on Haaland. Yeah, very lucky not to get a yellow. Have you seen about the Leeds fan, says Arsenal? No. I've just had a question from the missus saying, do you want a bacon sandwich? I mean, does anybody say no to that? Well, some people do, obviously, for religious reasons, but if you can eat bacon, is anyone ever going to say no to that? Anyway, what Dan said, will there be a viral reaction if United go out to Brighton? Well, there's always going to be a reaction if United lose a game in the Cup anyway, isn't it? And we've had such a... We're not in Europe. We do need to find a way to beat Brighton. I think Brighton are a good team to play, though, because they play so open. And United do well against teams that play high line and leave space. Cherky's got a lot of space. Good tackle. Chelsea are a little bit all over the place here, and I think City are sensing a second goal. I mean, Chelsea are not going to relinquish this. Sorry, Man City are not going to relinquish this title to Arsenal, by the way. Just let's make that very, very clear. If it wasn't already. And they've been very good, Man City. But it's... I think the thing that's difficult to sort of quantify, and we'll talk about it at half-time, actually, about the title race, is that there's going to be a lot of twists and turns. And a couple of weeks ago, Man City were winning everything and Arsenal were winning games by 1 point at the last minute, and everyone was going, oh, City are going to win it. And now Arsenal go and batter Villa and get a good result against Bournemouth, and suddenly it's going to be Arsenal winning it. But City haven't gone anywhere, and Arsenal didn't go anywhere when Man City were doing well. For me, it's all about both teams have got a very good chance of winning it. And although I think Arsenal will win it, I don't think they're going to win it easily. Has Michael Oliver left his yellow cards in the hotel safe, says Andrew. Well, he's probably seen the praise that the referee got against Leeds, Man United. I mean, I don't think it was a great game, but I think the referee was man of the match. He let so many silly fouls go and let the game flow, and it was so much better. And I do wonder if there's a bit of a PGMOL document that's gone out to try and let the game flow a little bit, because he could have booked a few players and the game has flowed better. And we should praise the referees when they're making the game better. I love watching the Bundesliga on a Friday night because the referees let the games flow. And as bad as the Man United Leeds game was, and it wasn't awful, but it wasn't good, the referee let the game flow. And it's so much better because it's not stop-start. Half-time, 1-0 to Manchester City, and deservedly so. I think the stats will bear that out anyway. I'd be very surprised if they didn't. In fact, they're on the screen for you there. 8 shots to 1, 2 on target. I didn't say you could go. Get back here. Where are you? Where was it? There we are. Yeah, so 69% possession, 9 shots to 1, 2 shots on target to 0, 5 corners to 1. In fairness, that's exactly what many of us predicted. You know, a very dominant Manchester City performance. And now that the goal's been scored, you do think that that game could end up being 3 or 4-0. Oliver, thank you very much. The Everton game was stop and start today, and the referee was awful. Stopped the game to check see if a player had shin pads. Yeah, you know, it was my mate. It's probably just a one-off where we got a game that actually flowed, and it won't happen ever again. But look, in relation to the Premier League title, let's have a quick look at the table because I wanted to do this, and then the half-time hit anyway. So obviously it's a 4-point gap now. We've got 3 clubs way out ahead of everybody else. Villa are the big winners this weekend, by the way. 12-point gap on 4th place Liverpool and... sorry, not a 12-point gap. 8-point gap on 4th place Liverpool and 11-point gap on 5th place Manchester United and a 12-point gap on Chelsea. So they're in a very good position, Villa, at the moment. Man City are now 4 points behind Arsenal as things stand. So it's really just about how precarious that gap at the front is, and you sort of look at every game week now, and obviously Arsenal-Liverpool on Thursday is a game that Man City will be looking at because they play on Wednesday at home to Brighton. So if Man City beat Brighton, that gap will be 1 point, and Arsenal play Liverpool, that could be, you know, maybe a draw and it's back down to 2 again. So it's all about who's playing and when you play them. I mean, I used to remember these days as a United fan, even though it's a long time ago, where you're looking at who's playing and if you play first. Then we got the FA Cup. Then Man City play first again, but they're at Old Trafford in a Manchester derby. And at 5:30, Arsenal go to Forest. So if you're City again, you're thinking if we win the Manchester derby, maybe Forest might do something against Arsenal. Then the next game, Arsenal play Man United on Sunday, but Man City play Wolves on the Saturday. So again, Man City for the next 3 game weeks are playing before Arsenal. So as long as they win, you put that little bit of pressure in. And you want to be playing first. You do. You want to be playing first because that can put a little bit of pressure onto the opposition. So look, Man City are definitely still in this race. There's no two ways about it. And I do think that as we move back into a very busy schedule, you know, we've got no international breaks, we've had a big festive period. There's a lot of games in January, and there'll be a lot of games in February, and there'll be a lot of games in March. I think that Man City, in my opinion, have a very good squad, but they're very reliant on Erling Haaland. I think if they lose Erling Haaland at any point, it becomes very difficult. But then they are adding in Semenyo. I think he's a very good signing for them as well. Mark, where do you think we are finishing in the league? Says Brands, who is a Man United fan. I mean, as I said in the first half, I find it incredible that we've taken, 13 points from the last 27 and we're still 3 points off 4th. It's a weird season. So if United were active in the January transfer window, I think we could get 5th place. But I don't know who's going to finish 4th. That's the thing. Like, I keep saying United shouldn't be in the top 5, but are Liverpool really good enough for 4th? Are Chelsea good enough for 5th? I mean, Chelsea are going to bring a new manager in. Look what's happened to Celtic. Celtic are worse with the new manager than they were with the old. So I don't think there is any major stuff going on that makes me think 4th place. I mean, there's no way Brentford are going to get in the top 5. There's no way Sunderland are going to get in the top 5. There's no way Brighton or Everton or Palace are going to get in the top 5. For me, the only candidates for top 5 beyond Man City, Arsenal and Villa are Liverpool, United, Chelsea and maybe Newcastle. You've got to bring Newcastle back into it because they're only 5 points off 4th now and they've got some good fixtures coming up, Newcastle. I think Man United and Liverpool have got some tough games coming up. We've got Arsenal and we've got Man City soon. And Newcastle have got a lot of games in January, but they've got Leeds at home. Then they've got Wolves away. Then they've got Villa at home and Liverpool away. So, I mean, they've got a tough month. I mean, Newcastle have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus they've already played 9 games in January. Incredible. I don't know whether Newcastle's squad can deal with that volume of football, to be honest. What do you think about the United situation? Funnily enough, I'm having a bit of a back and forth with a journalist at the moment. And obviously I never would expose private messages, but we're sort of having a bit of a back and forth about the situation. And we're sort of on the same page. It's a back or sack statement from Amorim. It's a very, very big statement. There is no grey area. There is a breakdown. There is a lack of trust. And he is not happy. And it's very, very public. And he wants players in January and he wants to be supported. And if you're not going to support me, sack me. But what I would say is, as much as United will try and bury it like a cat buries a shit, it's still a shit. And the problem is that one of them's got to go because the trust is gone. They won't like each other. So even if they calm down, they won't like each other. So I think Amorim will end up going and Wilcox will end up staying, but I'd get rid of, I would get rid of Wilcox. That's what I would do. What Audi do you drive and do you prefer it? Says Weslow. Well, I prefer my Audi to my Seat, which I had for years. Yeah, it's a nice car, yeah. Do you have any info on what's going on with the 115? Seems to be radio silence at the moment, says Niall. Absolute radio silence, mate. Nobody knows anything. No one's been told anything. My complete and utter guess is that the Premier League have bitten off too much they can chew, which, is nothing new. And that they're basically trying to figure out a way where Man City are going to win, but they can make it look like they've done something. Because the case was basically over a year ago, wasn't it? So, yeah. How many teams have lost more games than Sunderland, says Nero? It's a funny ask. Sunderland have lost 4 games this season. Only Man City, Villa and Arsenal have lost less. So, very good season for Sunderland. Yeah. Good win for Newcastle today against Palace. I can see us going on a run, says Lewis. I think Newcastle are a very good side. I think the signing of Tau at the back is very, very good. You've got really good fullback options. You've got very good midfield. And you've got 6 options in your front 3. So I think Newcastle are a good side. They've probably dropped points this season where they should have beat Chelsea and they drew. They shouldn't have lost to us on Boxing Day. They should have got at least a point. So that's 3 points you've dropped, and that's happened a lot to them. Who will get the 4th place as Forsey? I'd say Liverpool, but at the moment they're not very convincing. Sorry, Mark. Mark, sorry, missed this. What has Amorim said? Says Vib. I mean, there's more of it to go into at 8 o'clock, but the crux of it is he said this before walking out of the presser. I noticed you lot have received selective information about everything. I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach. I know my name is not Conte Tuchel Mourinho, but I'm the manager of Manchester United. It's going to be like this for 18 months or until the board decide to change. I'm not going to quit. I'll do my job until another guy is coming here to replace me. I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not the head coach. Every department, scouting, sporting director, they need to do their job, and I will do mine for 18 months and we'll move on. Definitive quotes. So there we go. Is it even possible to do trades in football, says Eben. Yeah, I mean, it's called a swap deal. Yeah, you can do it. They're very complicated, but you can do it. Rajaf says, did you see the presser video from Beanie in the end after Amrim's comments the journalists were talking about? And one of them said, what does he mean? They don't even understand what he's saying, says Rajaf. Well, it's very obvious what he's saying, isn't it? It's back me or sack me. I want to be the manager, not the coach. Promises have been made and they've not been delivered. The sporting director needs to do his job and I'm the manager. It's a very, very obvious dig at the board and false promises. Yeah. And he's basically saying, I'm the manager, I'm not the coach. I'm not a head coach, I'm the manager. And the difference between being a head coach and a manager is a head coach is somebody that just trains the players and gets given the players. He's a manager. So, you know, that's sort of where we are with it at the moment. Morocco have gone through in the AFCON. That means Mazraoui won't be back for a while. Well, a little bit longer anyway. When do you think Chelsea are going to appoint their new manager anyway? Mark, I can hear you saying next season, look how City buying Semenyo in January helped them win the league for the importance of the January window. Well, I do think the January transfer window is important, Bobby. I do. Mark, thank you very much for that. Oh, there's a new Game of Thrones coming out. I bet that'll be shit. Is it even part done that one as well? Phoenix says, can we do a poll idea? Welcome to Derry or Stranger Things? Well, being as I saw it, I'll do it for you. I thought you were going to say Derry Girls or Stranger Things. I know what you're talking about. I'll tell you what, I'd definitely give Here We Go a go as a sitcom. If you like Peep Show, it's good. We are same off points of 4th and 14th. This is the worst league I've seen since Leicester won. Performances are awful and hiding behind 3 points off 4th, says Bernardo. I completely agree. That reminds me as well. I'm going to put that down as well. Right, players are coming out for the second half. Hi, Mark. My former friend and employee went down on someone else on holidays and claims that's not cheating. What's your opinion? Love from pennies, says the Allen boy. My former friend and employee. Oh, my God. I've just realised what I've just read there. I thought, you know when you read something and you don't read it? I realise what you're talking about now. That's definitely cheating, mate. I mean, as a married man, if I went on holiday and I did that and I came back, I'd be getting divorced. Like, there's no way you're going to get a free lunch. Nobody gets a free lunch. And you're definitely not going to get a free lunch out of that. You're getting divorced, dumped. It's definitely cheating. Yeah. DJJ says, is Mr. Mercedes any good? Somebody over Christmas said to me, is Mr. Mercedes any good? And I didn't watch it. And they said, it is good, but it's a bit creepy because he has quite an intimate relationship with his mum. And I said, I'm not watching that. I am not watching that. I've got no interest in somebody that's like that. The Sinner was a little... I like The Sinner. I'd recommend The Sinner with your man out of... Is it Bill Pullman? I liked The Sinner, but he had a bit of a kinky thing. And I don't like that. I don't like all the kinky stuff. Get out. Yeah, not interested in that. So that's put me right off. Right, second half. Gaming Kid says, hello, I'm a Liverpool fan. Do you think you can go past us? We're just so inconsistent, mate. It's almost the battle of... It's like watching two turds going down a stream, isn't it? Who's going to win the race? I mean, they're still turds. I have seen Department Q. I would definitely recommend it, Torrent. It was good. I enjoyed that. I left watching it for ages, but it was very good. I like it. I have watched You. I enjoyed You. Harry Met Sally or Four Weddings and a Funeral. I've seen Four Weddings and a Funeral a few times, Ramon. I've never watched Harry Met Sally. Right, come on, Chelsea. Coming out slowly for the second half. There's a new series of Line of Duty coming out, Adrian. I didn't like the last season. How many good series mess it up in the final season? And there's so many. Substitution here for Chelsea. I need to finish Fargo. It's a good shout. The Martin Freeman one, I never finished it. Rocky or Rambo? It's a tough choice. I didn't see what the substitution was there. Apologies, everybody. It was Andre Santos for Estevao. So does that mean he's gone a little bit more defensive then? You know what I've done this year? You know, over Christmas, in mid-November, I wrote a list of all the programmes I wanted to watch over Christmas, like all the Christmas specials, all the Christmas movies. It worked really well. And I didn't watch everything, but I watched a lot more than I normally do. So I'm definitely up for keeping that. But I've started to do it again for things I want to watch during the year now. That's a good idea. Efi says, all Man United fans are behind South Africa today. Come on, Bafana, Bafana, says Efi. I feel like I should know who you're playing. And I don't, because I don't watch the AFCON. 7 o'clock against Cameroon. Well, I think United fans will be with Cameroon, mate. Although, there are a lot of South African Man United fans. So, for me, even though Mbeumo plays for Cameroon, we've got loads and loads of Man United fans from South Africa. So, I'm on the fence with that one. May the best team win. Lazio, Napoli, 2-0. Is Lukaku injured again for Napoli? Because he wasn't on the bench today. Stranger Things has beaten Welcome to Derry Girls. I put Welcome to Derry Girls. Welcome to Derry is what I meant to put, Welcome to Derry Girls. I probably ruined that poll for you there. Welcome to Derry Girls. Do you think Kane comes back to the Premier League in 2027? I think he will come back. Yeah. If South Africa win and Mbeumo comes back early, yeah. He'd definitely be back for the Brighton game. Well, there's a chance here for Chelsea. Cole Palmer. Oh, how has he missed that? Neto has missed an absolute sitter there. You know, sometimes, I've played the game and I think about these big pitches you used to play on under 16s and this, that and the other. And you look at where Neto misses that on a bloody carpet and you just think, when I was playing school for lunchtime football, I'd be going mad at someone for missing this. I mean, look at where he is when he shoots. I mean, how does a professional footballer miss from a metre out from the 6-yard box on a carpet pitch where it doesn't bobble? How do you miss? How do you miss that? Lovely breakaway by Palmer and Enzo, and Pedro Neto missing what can only be described as a sitter. Lukaku's been injured since August as elite. I'm sure I saw him on the bench a couple of weeks ago. I'm convinced he was on the bench a couple of weeks ago. So he must have had a relapse. He's 32 now. Yeah, new setback. Another setback in their attempts to get in, with the striker still not ready to action after a lengthy and frustrating layoff. More than 4 months on from the muscle injury. It's been delayed again. Despite brief optimism surrounding his recent call-up, the Belgian is not yet able to step up his workload and a return remains off the table for the coming weeks. The trouble with Lukaku is, at 32 years of age, it's a bit like Harry Maguire. You know what? People don't listen to me all the time, and that's wise. However, I said this about Harry Maguire 4 years ago. I said he's such a big player. I don't mean weight. I mean, like, he's massive. That's a lot of pressure on your legs over a 15-year footballing career. And it's the same with Lukaku. It's so much power on your legs. I don't know what's happened to Vardiel here, but hopefully it's nothing too bad. Kushanov's coming on, but he's a key player for Man City, and it's hard to tell. I don't think anybody knows there. He's a very important player for Man City. I think he's been a wonderful signing. Remember when he was playing at left back and he just kept scoring goals every week? And they paid a lot of money for him. Just another world-class signing by Manchester City. Possibly underrated Vardiel. I think he's been a brilliant signing for them. Very consistent. But Man City are pressing high here to try and get the second goal. And it's a yellow card for Reece James. Which Premier League team does Casemiro start for, says Diego? Well, I just want to see this injury here first, because he's got a yellow card and he was in control of the ball. That's a bit of a harsh yellow card, that, considering he's kicking the ball. Don't think he should be getting a yellow for that. Rodri taking it on the ankle, though. There'll be a little bit of concern about when Rodri goes down. I don't think it's a yellow card. He's kicked the ball and he's not followed through. His foot's just hit Rodri, so. What did you get from Amrim's quotes? Does he still have a future at United? Well, I don't think he does. I'm talking about it at 8 o'clock. Be a good show. NWK says, I'm a gunner, that's a yellow. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, you're an Arsenal fan and you're saying it's a yellow. Oh, sorry, everybody. It must be a yellow card. I don't think it was a yellow. I think he should have had a yellow card in the first half. But I think that one was just... I don't think it was even reckless. Oh, ref, that's a yellow card. Yeah. Diaz. Yeah, that's a yellow. Did you know that Avram Glazer has been out in Dubai watching his cricket team and he's watched every game? Doesn't even bother turning up for Man United. Yeah, clear yellow card for Diaz there. He's body slammed him. Well, he's body checked him. Nothing more, nothing less. Should have been sent off last week though against Forest. I think Ruben Diaz, and I've spoken to City fans about this, I think Ruben Diaz is the most overrated centre-back in Premier League history. Every year, he's always in the Team of the Year centre-backs. He's always in the Premier League centre-back, Premier League Team of the Season. I think he had one good season at City, and ever since then... Oh, mistake. Haaland. Chelsea defenders, guys, got back well there. But it's a corner. A Cheapong made a mistake, but recovered for it. I just think Rodri's an okay centre-back. I think he's a Portuguese Tarkowski. I think he had one really good season, but I just don't think he's all that. I really don't. I think his partner always looks way better than him. And I'm not talking about that, what's her name, who does Baller League. I'm talking about his defensive partner. Diaz, not Rodri, no. I mean Diaz, not Rodri. Yeah, sorry, I think I've just said the wrong name. What's his girlfriend's name? Is it Khalifa? No, that's someone else, isn't it? Maya, that's it, yeah, I know. I met her at Baller League. Nice girl. Brad says, agree on Diaz. He won Player of the Year when Kane had the most goals and most assists in the Premier League that season. Look, I'm not saying he's terrible. I just don't, John Stones is better than him. Vardiel's better than him. But he has this reputation as a world-class centre-back, and I just don't agree. Yeah, United stand at 8 o'clock tonight. It'll be a good show. Would I take Diaz over Maguire? Well, of course I would. He's younger, isn't he? I mean, look, he's probably better than every Man United centre-back. But what I'm saying is he gets put into the category of like Van Dijk and, top-class centre-backs. And I don't agree. Lovely run by Haaland here. He could be about to score a worldie. He could be about to... Oh, good block. I tell you what, the electric pace and power there. When there's space in front of Haaland, he will move. And he did move there. I thought he was gonna score a worldie here. Picks it up on the halfway and then look at that. Move! He's off. Move! 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 And then there's a block. Badashield did it. Oh, De Ligt's better than Diaz, yeah. I forgot about De Ligt because he's been bloody injured for so long. When you have toast, do you cut it in rectangles or triangles? Rectangles, biggest ball knowledge. Oh, I love all this sort of talk. I love all this sort of talk. Remember a couple of years ago when we were having the debate about do you use cold water when you're brushing your teeth or warm? I use warm because if I'm washing my hands, I want warm water. Same theory. Also, when you're in the shower, do you face the shower or do you have your back to the shower? I 100% every time back to the shower. But some people face the shower. Lovely ball in behind here. Reinders is in again. Will he get another shot off? Lays it off. Cherky should have hit that first time. I'm surprised Michael Oliver didn't give a penalty there. Very surprised. Anyway, I cut my toast in rectangles. Put on quite a show, very entertaining. Now I have to go. I don't even know why I'm singing that. I don't even like it. Shower in the morning, bath at night. I could never have a bath in the morning. Makes no sense. Only if I'm ill would I have a bath in the morning. No, that's not a penalty on Cherky at all. Oh, I'll tell you what, the game is getting stretched in the midfield. If you're an Arsenal fan, you'd be looking at this and going, Chelsea could get something here. Corner. How are United still fifth, says Shahin, because the Premier League shit, basically. Beyond the top three, it's crap. No income tax, no VAT, no money back, no guarantee. Black or white, rich or poor, we'll cut prices at a score. What classic sitcom's that from? Thought Haaland was going to handball that. Offside. How are you giving up a offside there, Chelsea? Still half an hour to go. Double substitution. Hato on for a Cheapong and Delap's on for Pedri. God. Pedro, sorry. I mean, not that Pedro's done that well, but... Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Still plenty of time for a comeback. But one goal from City and it's over. If that had gone into Haaland a bit quicker, he might have been in. He's in. Bernardo Silva just needed to cut it back. Haaland can't believe it. He can't speak. Bernardo Silva could have squared it to Haaland, who would have had a tap in, and he decided to go himself from a ridiculous angle. Was it? No, I don't know whether it was Bernardo Silva. It might have been. Cherky. Kushanov did well there, to be fair. Is Liam Delap crap? Well, Enzo Fernandez is down injured on the far side there. Referee has said play on. Reece James with the cross. That's a lovely cross. But it won't come to anything. Right, let's have a look at the chat. Sorry, I was just watching the game. My personal feeling on Liam Delap was that he went for everything too soon. I think going to Chelsea, you're not going to start. He probably would have been wiser going to a Brighton or an Everton or someone like that. There is Ipswich got relegated, so you want to stay in the Premier League, but go somewhere where you're going to start every week. I think he might have gone somewhere a little bit. You've got to prioritise game time. Royal family or Only Fools and Horses, says Danny. I like both, but definitely Only Fools and Horses. How do you like your curtains? Shaved or natural, says the Fleet. I don't know what that means. How do you like scrambled eggs? Sloppy, medium, hard and destroyed. Again, I don't really like scrambled eggs, Johnny. What was the northerner version of Only Fools and Horses, says Kazo. Don't know. Lauren wants to know if you wipe backwards or forwards. Why does it always have to go downhill with Lauren? Have you seen the Ruben post-match press conference? He went on a rant and walked out. I have, Dan, and we'll be talking about it at 8 p.m. Not reading that from Peter. There we go. There's some really sick and strange people in our watch-alongs today. We need to have a cleanse. I don't watch Traitors, AJ Day, no. I'm not a big fan of Winkleman. I find her quite irritating. And at least I'm honest. She probably thinks the same thing. I think Everton Delap would have been a good move, yeah. And they were interested, but obviously he's going to earn more money at Chelsea. He's going to get to play the occasional Champions League. I can understand why he did it, but I think what you gain in status and bank balance, you might lose in development. Miserable Sunday, people back to work tomorrow. This is why I always say every year, enjoy the week between Christmas and New Year if you're off. Some people are like, oh, I don't know what to do. It's weird. It's like Christmas is over. It's a brilliant week. It's a week where you get to do absolutely nothing. Drink, watch TV, whatever. Neto, again, what's he doing? Decision making, terrible. But that's a good ball out to Gusto. Prefer HelloFresh. Ba-dum-dum. I know people might be happy seeing Garnacho not playing, but it's kind of sad to see such a talent not developing him because there's no Sir Alex Ferguson, Wenger or Klopp, says Shahin. Emma says, do you hate Garnacho? I don't hate anybody. I just don't. I'm glad he's not at Man United. Here is Liam Delap. Need to pass, mate. He's in. Oh, he got unlucky there. He nearly bulldozed his way through. What size screen do you watch the football on? I mean, probably the smallest size screen I've got, actually, because I'm very close to it. I'm literally, I don't know why I've always got a tape measure close by, but I'm only 2 foot away from the screen, and it's a 28-inch. There you go. People are going to wonder why I've got a tape measure handy. Yeah, I don't know why I always have a tape measure handy, but I do think it's useful for, if you want to buy something for your cupboards or your shelves and you want to know if it's going to fit, Custard cream or bourbon, says Gareth. I'd probably go bourbon. What's this? Choose between talking pets or talking babies, says Mark. Oh, God. I think I'd take talking pets. It'd be weird if a baby was talking. Nice flick on by Haaland. Lovely pace by Cherky. Good tackle. Again, I think City could have killed the game there. Are you 28 inches long, says Peter. If I was 28 inches long, I'd pass out every time I had a throb. You can't carry that. You can't lose that amount of blood. Reckon, guys, there's only 28 inches. Some people only have 3. Grower, not a shower, says Kaz. Elise or Dewey? I like Elise, Wombat. Doku's coming on. Actually, this is the perfect game to bring Doku on. There's so much space on the break, especially on that left-hand side. Reinders, this could be a very good tactical switch. Just looking at that goal again, Badashiel needs to do better. Doku ons, the game's over, says hello. Would I take Maresca? No. No, I don't mind Maresca, but I don't rate Maresca. Like, Leicester fans weren't too sure about him from the start. Chelsea fans weren't too sure about him. I don't rate Maresca that highly. So I do not want him at United, thank you very much. Apparently Man City want him though, so he'll probably go to Man City and win 10 Premier League titles in a row. WC Bosch says Doku or Madueke. Well, how's about I do a poll? He says it should be closer than people think. I think Madueke at Arsenal this season has been incredible. King 7 says, would you rather fight a singularity or a supernova? I'm picking a supernova because it'd be really cool. Foden. Lovely, lovely ball by Delap. Got to move that quicker. Enzo, out to Neto. City, look at how hard they work to get back. They've lost it now. They've moved that too slow. Look, too slow from Chelsea. That momentum of the break is gone. Liam Delap's done well there. Got the shot. I'll tell you what, it was a lovely touch by Liam Delap there. That's probably some of the best work I've seen him do in a Chelsea shirt. Lovely first touch. Did really well. 78th minute, there'll be a Chelsea goal, says Rain. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. What's for dinner, says MDP. I've already had my main dinner. It was at 3 o'clock. I had a Sunday roast of pork, red cabbage, shredded Brussels sprouts, broccoli, lovely roast potatoes, gravy, lovely stuff. You got him. Cole Palmer again losing the ball. Not quite right, Cole Palmer today. The last time he lost the ball, Man City went and scored, and here is Doku. Very nearly with the cutback. How's Bernardo Silva got that to Doku? Neto. Oh, he's got stuck under his feet. It's good for United that Chelsea will lose, says D. Well, it's not over yet. I mean, Chelsea on the break have looked reasonable. Chelsea rebuild take 7, says guess who? Looks like Aki is going to come on here. Yeah, no more late nights tonight. Back to work tomorrow. Christmas is over. I was up till 1 o'clock last night watching that film. Need to get back on the old sleep pattern. Might have one last beer for the road tonight on the 8 o'clock show. Well, not my last beer ever, but just, you know, of the era. Of the Christmas 25-26 season. Good play by Enzo, but I don't think that's a foul on by Enzo. He's in possession of the ball. Weird ref. Die Hard 1 and 2 Christmas movies, yes or no? Well, I wouldn't watch them any other time than Christmas. BGB. That's a lovely ball by Doku. Foden's got so much time. Tried to get it to Haaland. I think he should have gone himself. Lovely ball by Doku. Bailey says Neto's had a horrible game. Yes. I think Foden should go himself a little bit there. I don't think the cross is on. Siddy, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. They've had I tell you what, City have had about 4 chances in this second half. Simple cutbacks to make it 2-0, and they've either ignored it or missed it. Oh, that was a high... Mate, that was a high foot. How's he not given a free kick there from O'Reilly? Nearly kicked him in the face. Strange referee. There's an offside anyway. It was definitely a high foot in that. Well, he doesn't want to bring Garnacho on, despite the poor performance from Neto. Esteval started. He's gone off. He's got Gittins on the bench as well. Another crap pass by Neto when he could have put a cross in. He has had a bad game. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't take Neto off. I mean, I think Neto's a good player, but he's had a very poor game today. He's been watching too many Martinelli compilations. Apparently he's a big fan. Delap. Has he got the pace? Too strong there, Kushinov. And a bit of afters. It's all going on a little bit. A little bit of pushing and shoving. I think he gave him a little bit of a kick, didn't he? I'd be very surprised if it's not a yellow card for Delap. I like to see a bit of that, though. I'm not going to moan at Delap for that. I'm not going to moan at Kushinov for that. He gave him a barge first. He gave him a little bit of a kick. Yellow card. Yeah. Kushinov does well. I really don't think there was that much in it at all, to be honest. I mean, this is just a chance for Michael Oliver to have a breather and make it about him, isn't it? I mean, we could be back playing a minute ago. Big waste of time. Just get on with it. How bad is Vardiel's injury, says Boxree? We don't know, mate. We don't know. I mean, he went hobbling off. Hopefully it won't be too bad. It did seem to be knee related. Yeah, just get. I agree with you, Jamrock. Just give him the yellow cards and get on with the bloody game. Ruben Diaz is injured now. Don't even know what happened to him. He's all right. FaZe Killer, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Dan says, I'm in the last 7 people in final one standing. I'm thinking going Everton to beat Wolves. What do you think? Yeah, I think Everton's big problem is the AFCON. So if they've got Gehi, Idrissa Gueye and Dia back, I think that's been their big problem, isn't it? So I don't know whether they have. If Arsenal are to win the league, which player is crucial to keep fit for the run-in? Raya, Rice, Odegaard or Saka? I think you've missed Gabriel as well. I think Gabriel's very important for you as well. I would say out of those 4, Rice, Alistair. Joseph says, I'm with you, Mark. Can't understand people nowadays think you're negative because you speak honestly about United being run badly for 20 years. Mate, they've all been sat down. You know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of people saying, oh, it's so negative on the United stand. You're always moaning. And now, look at what's happening. And, oh, what? Proven right. That's the wrong ball by Foden again. Why did he not pass it to Cherki? Why does Foden not play this to Cherki? He goes for the harder ball. Look at this. Look. That is Cherki every day of the week. Every day of the week, and he can hit it first time. Is that number 10 rivalry there or something? Is that like, I don't want Cherki to score? I don't know what that's all about. But City fans, come on. Foden should be playing that to Cherki there, and that's a tap. Well, it's not a tap-in, but it's a shot on goal. Ten minutes to go. Well, it looks like City are going to get the win, but maybe not as comfortable as it should have been. City having to put in the hard yards now. This is what I always say about Chelsea, though, haven't I? I've said it for so many years. Why have they never gone out, in all the billions they've spent, why have they never gone out and bought the experienced striker? Why have they never gone out and bought the top-class striker? Because they always miss it. They always miss that. And I don't know why. Well, because the reason they haven't done it is because you don't get many world-class strikers under the age of 24 that Chelsea can go for. Big Sam says the interim coach looks like a rabbit in the headlights. Oh, it's a bloody tough job, isn't it, mate? You know, this is high-end Premier League football, and these City players look like a family. United players act like playing football is a chore. Tevin said, who said you was right? Well, I am right, mate. United's in bloody chaos. If you want to trust a project where the manager and the director of football don't get on and have fallen out, what project are you talking about? Fulham on Wednesday for Chelsea. Be another tough game. To be fair, City should have won this by more. They've had so many opportunities on the break. And it's all, to me, I think it's just the final ball's been lacking. Oh, somebody said Lukaku. Mate, we had Lukaku at Man United. If you think he's a top-class experienced striker, I'm sorry. I don't think he is. I think he's a flat-track bully. I don't think he's a top striker. I really don't. We had him at Man United. I never liked him at Man United. Credit to him, he's had a very good career and he scores a lot of goals, but I don't think he's this. I've never felt that. I was not unhappy when he left United, let's put it that way. Trampoline Toes spent most of his time at United in the Sainsbury's car park chasing his first touch. Can you please watch South Africa versus Cameroon, says Bear. I can't because I've got a United stand show at 8 o'clock and I want to have a bacon sandwich. I mean, look, Harry Kane would be a good signing for Chelsea. It's difficult to do. Erling Haaland would be brilliant for Chelsea. It's difficult to do. But I think over the years there have been strikers they could have gone for. I'm not just talking about this summer. I think it's been the last 4 summer transfer windows. So any top striker in the last 4 transfer windows that's been available, I think they should have been looking at. I mean, the one I always thought would have been perfect for them was Victor Osimhen. I know he's in Turkey, but he's not always been there, has he? Stats, people say Lukaku better than Maradona, says Shahin. Look, we had Lukaku at Man United, so I'm not talking from inexperience. I was never really that keen on him when we bought him from Everton, and I wasn't really that bothered when he left. And I do think he's a bit of a flat track bully. He does score a lot of goals, but it tends to be, certainly for United, it wasn't in the bigger games. I think City are going to get this done now. 5 minutes to go. Just don't seem to have anything, do they, Chelsea? Would Ivan Toney do a job for Chelsea? I think he'd do a better job than what they've got. I mean, obviously, I don't think he'd be a long-term solution, but Delat reminds me of Lukaku. Big physical and no touch. A blunt instrument at the end of an attack. Never going to be world-class, says Zach. Are you going to go nuclear on Ineos tonight, says Dino? Well, I'm certainly going to. I think it's a low point for Manchester United when you've got a manager basically saying, I've not been supported. And, you know, it's civil war, isn't it, really? You know, you've got Wilcox leaking against the manager yesterday. You've got the manager going in against Wilcox today. This could be the killer goal for City. No, another bad pass. It's almost like Foden and Cherky don't do their best passes to each other. Pratam says, what do you make of the Reed goal against Liverpool? You said in the past that long bangers are not scored like they used to be. Oh, it was great, mate, and I think it needed to be it's virtually the last kick of the game, wasn't it? And they needed that. I think they deserved it as well. I mean, it's a kick in the nuts for Liverpool, but I did see a couple of Liverpool fans online saying, you can't take it away. It's an absolutely brilliant goal. It just sort of sums up Liverpool's season, really. I think they're used to it now, aren't they? Chelsea is struggling to get up the pitch here. I can't see an equaliser. That's quick by Delat, but he's got no support. Now he's got Gusto. Cole Palmer. Enzo, Neto. Nearly tackles himself. I mean, I like Neto, like I say, but how he stayed on, I don't know. Because he's had a really bad game. Oh my God. Cole Palmer misses it. Half a chance in the box. I mean, there was a lot of work to do, but completely missed it on the cross. Cut back. Half a chance that. Every day says Palmer and Neto have been shocking. Maybe he didn't want to score against his old club. No, he's definitely tried to score there. Ref will probably add 8 minutes, says T-Ski. Well, we're just about 12 seconds of the 90 to go. Six minutes added on. Easy cross for Donnarumma, that. Can City get the second goal now? The break is on again. Into Doku, up against Reece James. He's on a yellow. He needs some support here. Palmer shows how hard it is to be top level year in, year out. Liverpool fans, Salah deserves more media from the more flowers from the media. Now here's Neto into Delap. Throw in. It wasn't an easy chance for Palmer. That's why I said it was half a chance. You'd expect him to do a little bit better, but that's a nice ball into the channel for Gusto. Oh, absolutely shocking control, and it goes out for a goal kick. And the funny thing is, as well, the goal that Chelsea conceded, whilst it was well taken by Rangers, it should have been defended better by Badiashile. But it's 3 points, and in the context of Chelsea, it's probably not that bad, is it? I mean, it's a loss, but I think everyone was expecting a loss. Still 3.5 minutes to go. Can Chelsea create another chance? If they did, and they got a draw here, I think City would be kicking themselves because they should have put this to bed many a time. Their final ball has just been lacking. And at last, he's going to get a booking, Bernardo Silva. I'd give him 2 yellow cards for that. 1 for the pull and 1 for kicking the ball away. That's a yellow card, and that's a yellow card. Can't you give 2 for that? Little shit. You should get 2 for that. They were both yellow card offences. I'd laugh my head off if Michael Oliver went, yellow, yellow, you're off. I've had enough of you, you cheating little shit. You've been at it for years. That cross needed to go in early from Gusto. He's done it! Neto! Enzo! Back of the Neto for Enzo. They've gone and done it. Arsenal fans celebrate. What the hell, City? Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Pep can't believe it. He can't speak. He can't speak. That is incredible. Man City have had so many chances to... I mean, if I was Pep, I'd be going mad at Foden. I'd be going mad at Bernardo Silva. You had chances to square it to easy tap-ins, and you've been selfish, and now you've paid the price. City, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Chelsea, but City in this second half have had so many chances to kill the game, and their final ball has been absolutely horrific. I mean, even Neto nearly missed that. It wasn't Neto, it was Enzo. I keep saying it's Neto. It's Enzo. What a save that was by Donnarumma, and he just couldn't get it away. Wow. Arsenal's point tally at the top would be, well, they'd be 6 points clear if it stays like this. I mean, Enzo had 3 bites at the cherry. 1 he miskicked, 2 Donnarumma saved it, and then the second one's there. Wow. Like Sliced Bread says, you're welcome, Arsenal. Are you doing a match reaction? I mean, I was umming and ahhing about doing a match reaction. I think whatever happens now, even if City get a late winner, you've got to do it. Man City bottle. Man City bottle it. Pep can't believe it. And remember, this would be 2 points from 6. A point at Sunderland and a point against Chelsea. There's nothing to review on that. It was onside. They'll probably still bloody review it because they're idiots, but there was nothing wrong with that. Wow. Unbelievable. There you go. 6-point gap for Arsenal over Christmas. Merry Christmas for you. It's been a good Christmas run of fixtures for Arsenal. Went into it, everyone telling them they were lucky. And Man City were better than them. Come out of it 6 points clear. And of course, if you're Arsenal, you now go into that Liverpool game and you go, if you win that, Villa are on the same points as our City now. Very good point there from Jays. Pep's got no spit left. I can't... Well, you've all been watching it with me. I can't tell you the amount of times in the second half Man City have had the opportunity to square it to somebody better for a very, very good opportunity, and they've either misplaced the pass or not took it. Very, very frustrating for City fans, and it'll be very frustrating for Pep. But Enzo's on the attack here, and ends up with Donnarumma. He goes long. It's all about the second ball. And that's going to go for a Chelsea throw. This is a big, big, big blow for City, though. It's a very big blow. In a title race, it's a very big blow. Lawson says, are you ever going to credit Chelsea? Oh, no, I think it's... I mean, in the absence of doing that, I apologise. Chelsea have done very well to get back into it. But I think if you've watched the game... it could easily have been 3-0 to Chelsea if they'd just been a little bit more precise in their final third. But Chelsea have had to play like that. They've had to make it a little bit more open to give themselves chances to get a game themselves. And it is 1-1. Fantastic point for Chelsea. What does that do for Chelsea in the league, actually? We've all been taking the piss out of City a little bit. But for Chelsea, that puts them a point higher up into, well, they're into 5th place again. They move United back down on goal difference. A good point for Chelsea, that. Maybe it's something they can grow on. Bit of confidence, but not for City. Right, I'll go and do a quick match reaction. I'm live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. You do not want to miss this show tonight. We're reacting to Amorim's blowout against the board of Manchester United. I will speak to you all a little bit later. Take care. Match reaction going up very soon too.